Hello everyone, and welcome to our Finals Mappool Showcase. Today I'm joined by Sekre CTB, the one and only. How's it going?
I'm exhausted, to say the least. I just finished my match literally 4 minutes ago, so here I am, still sitting in the same chair, didn't get up, and I'm here ready to cast Final Showcase with you. Haven't seen the maps yet, of course I didn't have time to at least, so hopefully it's going to be a good one. I believe in you though.
Appreciate it. So sorry to rope you in here. I'm sure you're exhausted. We'll get through this phenomenal Mappool Showcase and hope you all enjoy. So we can jump right into No Mod 1. Going to be Ceatrice, mapped by Yoshi and Rusty. Going to be a more full flavor No Mod 1. Things are especially going to be escalating now because we have reached finals. So the No Mod 1s are definitely going to get a lot more spicy than in previous instances.
You know, I have a bit of a request for you first. I want you to pronounce the name of the song real quick.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Come on, you're not even going to try?
No. I've been clipped too much already.
I wanted to get another one of those.
Yeah, sorry buddy. You can try if you want.
Well, I see Sir. That's what I'll call it. This is Sir.
Alright. So for Sir, we definitely have a lot more stacks. BPM's gonna be 210. Way faster. Hoping to provide something a lot more intense for these higher end teams. Especially based on previous feedback.
Yeah, so far this is kind of looking like Cold Fusion Light a little bit. I mean, it might get a little bit harder towards the end, but so far definitely looking a lot like Cold Fusion from last year's Grand Final for Mod 1.
Yeah, all the anti-flow isn't going to be extended for too long.
Wait, it's going to be anti-flow? I only know turnarounds, man.
Yeah, see, I was taking your advice and going to try to not use that word as much.
Okay. I'll stick with the turnarounds, you go with the anti-flow, alright?
Alright, thank you.
Yeah, looking like a lot of turnarounds.
Alright. So while it is definitely dense, it's not complex in the inputs that it has. Just has a lot of taps, a lot of either extended short streams or the 4s and the 2s.
Yeah, some of these 4s seem to be pretty challenging. Like, as well as these bursts, I think they're... I can't tell if there was a 1.8 or 1.6. I'd have to look deeper, but the bursts in this seem pretty challenging.
The much-needed break for tension. That's
either
everyone's
tension
favorite.
or tension reliever. It's going to be either tension or a big reliever of tension, depending on which side of the coin you're on.
Gonna slowly pick back up here.
Even though it is like less intense, the movements are still really precise and sharp, even in that little slower part. Some of these turnarounds, you could say, are pretty challenging as well.
That's a really good term you used there. I might start using that.
Yeah, you should. I mean, this, like I said before, this is pretty much Cold Fusion Light version, is the kind of vibe that I'm getting out of this.
Yeah, definitely in our snappier section here, but still pretty dense. I love that wiggle stack.
wiggle stacks are the bane of my existence.
Really? You just wiggle them, bro.
Yeah. You're moving on 1/8 sounds. Oh, motion. You choke the FPC. Or motion.
The nerves will get to you in the final part, especially with a lot of those precise stacks.
You know, I can just imagine motion sitting right there at his PC after he did that, and he's just like, ah!
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Hey, coming into No Mod 2, gonna have a No Mod 2 that I'm sure people aren't expecting, XCon with Cosmic Blaster.
Oh no.
This is going to be our mechanical test pick of the pool, but it's going to have that infamous XCon twist to it, and you'll get to see that pretty quickly.
You know, last time that I personally saw an XCon No Mod custom map was when it was for OML, and that was still one of my favorite maps, I'd say, from that whole tournament. Probably as a No Mod slot in general. So, hoping keeps up the trend for this one. It's looking already pretty good.
Yeah, something very unusual with these XCon stacks. Something we don't really get to see too much. Definitely had a blast test playing this.
Some harsh snaps mixed in there as well, where the Hyper Dash is the 1/4 instead of just the 1/2.
I would get an arrest coming from the police supervised Suffolk County Jail.
You know, the thing I'm thinking of when I see this map though is how evil it would have been if you just put this on a hard rock slot. It would have been so evil.
Don't worry, we aren't that evil. And we do got the greatest gimmick of all time, Slider Tick Rate 4. My favorite.
Hey, that's unrankable.
What?
Change the slider tick rate.
Yeah, problem for another time. Gonna escalate
this is
based
so
on the
deceptive
previous. Yeah, definitely an elevation of the first instance that this was used.
Oh, this is funky now.
Yeah, this gets crazy.
All those little triplets mixed in there too as well are really hard to be able to actually snap back on the proper snap on those.
Definitely an exciting No Mod 2. I cannot wait to see this get played. Definitely just an extremely exciting map. You can tell I had so much fun. I'm sorry. I'm beaming with this map.
I get it, because you're a cosmic blaster, you're blasting your beam. I see. Is that what you tried to do there?
You made the pun for me, but I appreciate it.
I mean, with the amount of puns that you've already done this year, I expected that was scripted, no?
You give me too much credit.
Oh man.
Okay, moving into No Mod 3, going to be our gimmick pick. Definitely moving away from the previous style, gonna be a Nidoking map. Pretty infamous for a very specific style that many players are already aware of. And we somewhat molded that style into something CWC-able. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Is this fully hyper dashless, or is there a few of them in between?
There'll be a few of them.
Heavy focus on the wiggles. 178, so it's not the fastest, but I think it's still just above some players' comfort zone at this level still, even at finals, especially in the loser bracket probably. That pattern right there is really hard. It's just constant 178 BPM wiggle.
There's still those slight instances where you can choose to stand things or not, but I feel like
it's gonna be not worth it.
Yeah, gonna be really interesting seeing how many people learn the exact standstills for this.
So that was a nice spinner, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Also max with that.
And it's gonna have a lot of these kind of burst wiggle sections here. And one final burst before, there you go, you've made it. With the one singular hyper dash I was referring to.
The one singular one.
Yep. I didn't lie,
Also,
just overplayed it.
I think we also didn't mention it's CS5, so it is a little bit smaller notes than you would expect.
And gonna have our Will Stetson convert. Gonna be very funky with a lot of these streams too. That's something else that feedback was a bit based on, enjoying the more streamy style converts than just super harsh jumps.
Yeah, I think that is definitely something that people have taken a big liking to this year. It's just how fun the kind of streaming maps are compared to jumps. Because, you know, jumps always feel like you're kind of either at 0 difficulty or 100 difficulty, and then it just feels impossible to a certain degree. But these kind of maps usually test something that's not tested anywhere else, really, especially with the removal of converts and other pools. So, always good to have this kind of map.
Yeah, definitely feels a lot more consistently hard too, rather than just having that one jump that just feels impossible and then you combo the rest. Plus convert funky stream shapes are fun.
Also, I have a little game for the chat here. Guess who made the replay? I know who made the replay based on the replay name. If you are a legend of CTB lore, you should also know who made the replay.
I will verify, since this is Sekray's game, his assumption is correct.
Oh, okay, J-Star typed it in the chat moments before I said it, god dang it. It's Jover. But yeah, Draystar always, if you ever talk to Draystar, this is the one single like emoji that he always uses.
It's a fun game when you can get the answer right. It's gonna be a little bit of a nice combo part.
Yeah, you can't fully fall asleep on this though.
Yeah.
So, some further jumps. And also, a lot of people might recognize the song from this one in the map set from, I think it was CTBI. The top tip was used as a hard rock pick. So, a lot of people should have this one downloaded already in the Teshi community, at least in the higher levels who played that tournament.
Banger trivia, Mr. Sekray.
Just the encyclopedia book, I guess, now.
Gonna have a bit of a death stream section here.
PA 107?
Yeah, the PP is enormous. And then that's it. It suddenly just ends. I can definitely see some exciting matchups there where one person drops on the turbo stream, which just takes their score down that much lower. Curious to see if we have a match where it suddenly flips within the last 30 seconds on this one.
You know, is that going to be another term that we're coining? Turbo stream? I like that one.
I've coined a lot of terms so far. We'll coin it.
Alright, bet.
Hey, gonna be our Swing Hidden 1, mapped by Rusty. Definitely, everyone remembers the Absolute Castaway original. This is gonna be a bit of an enhanced version of that, with the BPM being quite a bit higher, and a lot more complex spacings in this.
You know, I'm looking at the slider velocity here. I'm not sure if it's... I think it's slightly higher than walk speed, which also makes this so deceptively hard. Like, infinitely harder than you would kind of assume it to be at face value. I know Fob is gonna go in the editor as soon as he can get this, check it, and be like, yep, that's over slide, that's over walk SP. But it definitely will provide a big challenge if it is.
Yeah, it's definitely that little nudge higher too. Definitely have seen Swing to be really good for hidden.
Yeah.
Definitely have a bit of a mechanical check here as well. This map will be a pretty relentless too. Not all,
Yeah, long.
essentially no downtime, yeah.
4 minutes. Hey, you know what 4 minutes means? Straight to the ranked section.
Best length for CTB. You're the one who pushed that too. You're the hero we needed and got. Yeah.
Hey, the
No,
other
I don't
Nats
give you
did their job too. The other Nats did their job too.
Greatly appreciate.
Alright, now we gotta make it 3 minutes. That one might get a little push. Even these 1-6 bursts in this map as well. Some of them being strong edges or something, make it a bit harder.
We are to see some slight elevations too as we move through this. Even coming into this jazzy solo here as well. And this is the one break that everyone so desperately needed.
That wiggle looked really harsh. You need to see also adding hyper wiggles in here as well, which we didn't really see much of in the previous parts. Oh, that pattern is also so good.
Yeah, the map elevates a bit with each instance, considering how long it is. Then finally, one more burst.
I wonder how many people are gonna think it ended right there. They're gonna look up the score and they're gonna see like 800k and be like, wait a minute, hold up.
For those who watch Mappool Showcase, that's your reward. Knowing that this map isn't over.
Seems like a pretty lame reward, no?
No, it's a great reward. Less tilt. That's a good reward to have.
Not wrong.
Alright, gonna have our Crowley Hidden 2. Going to be our Harsher reading pick of the tournament. Gonna be the first map to go below AR8. Gonna be AR 7.8.
Oh, 116 doubles. It wouldn't be a Mappool without them. Oh, they even get. Oh no.
It's
even
very
get
hittable. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll believe it when I see Fob and Lexi FC in the match.
Yeah, they'll FC a match. The song's a banger, by the way.
Dude, it honestly is. I'm surprised the Senators didn't make a set of this, or like map any part of this.
I'm sure he will someday. The map
That
itself,
guy is retired.
yeah. The map itself is definitely chunked in a way where it has its sections of difficulty, where the streams do change. It has the one double section coming into a wider space stream section.
Oh, this part is also differently snapped, I think. Looks like a 1/3 section right there.
Yeah, definitely an interesting song too.
Definitely a tempo shift though.
And just like that, it's over. We get to see a lot tested here. And I'm very curious to see how players handle the first hidden map below AR8. Definitely going to be exciting for sure.
Ooh, what's this?
Alright, Culprit Series! You already know. Now this is going to be our dense, snappier hidden of the round. We're going to have a lot of stops with this, but there's going to be plenty of mechanics mixed in as well.
Oh, I saw that one little inverse triplet there. You're evil for that one.
Standable.
I mean, it is. Oh, that. Okay, you're really evil for that one.
That,
I know you like your little wiggle stacks.
Walkable.
Yeah, it's unseeable. Just be motion. You're fine. I mean, this one definitely providing a bit of a different experience than the last week's Hidden 3, but I also think it is still a very good way to express a Hidden 3 slot, you know. You can do a Hidden 3 slot in a variety of ways, and this is definitely one that I think is a good way to test.
Yeah, definitely the most complex song I have ever mapped. This has gone through 5 remaps, and there's a lot of 112 mixed in with 1.8 and 1.9. And gonna give an extra shout out to someone at the very end for helping a lot with snappings. Then heading into a burst section as well.
Yeah, this is one of the kind of maps that you can't really just play like a normal map in the Hidden 3 slot. You actually have to be good at Hidden to play this one. Like, to be able to read all of this and get your snapping right, you can't do it easily at all.
Gonna come into a final breakdown here. Gets a bit more mechanical too. And then finally, something that is rankable. That slider is rankable, believe it or not. Fun trivia for you.
Do you use tick for A4 for the whole map?
Nope. BPM
Wait, what
doubles
was that
there.
slider? Oh,
Yeah.
of course. Of course.
Just culprit moment.
BPM doubles in quotes. Just like how you're gonna convince me that What the Cat is a 100 BPM song.
I will, but that's a conversation for another time. Before we move on, I do want to give a shout out to XCon. He has been checking offsets of maps for essentially the entire tournament, and he spent a long time with me making the snappings viable on this just because of how complex of a song it is. So huge shout out to XCon. Definitely made this map possible and helped out with the offset of essentially every map so far this CWC. Definitely deserves the recognition for that. Okay, moving on to our Hard Rock 1. Gonna have our Rival of X by Rinkia. Gonna be a Psytrance Hard Rock 1. Once again, breaking that 7-star barrier. Gonna be extremely streamy. And considering just the type of song that Psytrance is, we're gonna have a lot of the kind of burst implemented in terms of wider spacings and just those quick little differentiating streams. Kind of similar to the level 4 original from last year.
Yeah, definitely has a bit of that kind of vibe to it already. BP on this is 180, so these wiggles not super fast, at least. It's definitely within pretty much all players' range to be able to hit the burstier types of these speed wiggles.
And something worth mentioning as well is there is no real downtime on this map. So this is going to be one of the biggest stamina checks in the pool.
Not a single break?
Nope. I think there's one super short one.
Probably one of those things where it goes like, oh, and then it stops for like 2 seconds and then you're already back in the song as Psytrance usually goes.
The fact you knew that is impressive.
I mean, it's every single Psytrance song.
Yeah, you can consider that a little breathing part.
Yeah, the spinner, a breathing part. I'm sure some players will use it as one, actually.
Still going to have a lot of plenty of stacks implemented too to shake things up as well.
Spacing gets a little bit funky there, I saw. Take some very small hard rock randomization on that little section, but there's not much overall hard rock randomization about this map, I'm noticing.
That was also changed, or will be changed upon upload as well. Something worth mentioning.
It's like I knew without even having to know, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So yeah, as you saw, essentially just no downtime.
Yeah,
And
literally.
Alright, gonna be our Hard Rock 2. Gonna be sticking with the precision pick. Gonna be CS 5.2 in base, so 6.76 with HR. Gonna be safe with the conventional flow, but approaching the super higher levels of CS not before seen.
Is it really the first time we've gone this high in a World Cup?
I think it's like I think it's the second.
Yeah,
I
I think we've done maybe once or twice about 6.76, maybe a few times actually. I mean, this is kind of giving a little bit of a prelude, I guess, to Grand Finals, because we're already at 6.76. It's only a little bit higher before that. That's actually, you know, playable for most people. Do we get CS7 this year? Give me CS7.
I'm not spoiling anything. You still got a week to wait before that.
Yeah, I know. This one seems to be very stop and go focused. So you can already see a lot of stop, move, which makes it even more challenging on the position.
A bit of an elevation of Lacrima's map, where things do remain pretty conventional, but we do test the precision and timing of all these hit windows with having the CS so small. Song's also a banger. See one final little bursty stream section here. Just like that, it's over.
I like the background on that. It's a fire background right there.
A lot of work went into that background. Take that as you will. Alright, Hard Rock 3, going to be our mechanical Hard Rock. Jumping right into it. Gonna be a lot of turnarounds. I'm using the term. A lot of turnarounds here. Yeah, I used it.
You used it, guys. You used it. In this one, I mean, you saw the mapper physics. This one is pretty much gonna be the, you know, sequel to the physics map that we had in the Hard Rock 3 spot from last year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. That is correct.
I mean, it definitely looks pretty much like the same thing. If you told me this was actually last year's RFA, I wouldn't have doubted you. Which, I mean, hey, that map was a good map, so.
Also, credit where credit is due. Song's an original from OWC 2022. Absolute banger. Gonna have a little bit of downtime here in comparison to everything, but not much.
Yeah, this one just doesn't stop for the whole 2 minutes and 14 seconds that has, except for a little one bit of downtime time you did say. But I mean, even that can't really even call that downtime, all things considered.
Yeah, a bit more distortions with this one as well. Definitely harder to read than something like Hard Rock 1 in this round. And yeah, unrelenting is definitely a good word for this. It never stops. Just like that, it's over. One of our shorter maps of the pool to compensate for the mechanics that it provides. But it all just happens so fast. Nearly approaching the 8-star gap, too.
Yeah, true. I just realized that. 7.76 on that one.
Alright, gonna be DT1. Gonna be Misty Memory, Yumi no Himiko. Gonna be hitting the AR 9.2 barrier. Gonna be our reading check for this. Map is pretty conventional, also a little hard to see. Comes with a storyboard. And we do finally reach these higher AR barriers.
Yeah, definitely seems a little bit less comfy than last week's DT1, for sure. And as well as that higher approach rate, like you said, at 9.2. Going to be making a decent step up from last week.
Yeah, there is compensation provided for things being 9.2. Can definitely tell the map's not the most mechanically demanding.
Yeah. Like something like this at 8.8 probably was something suitable for our last round, for example.
Yeah. Get a nice view at the background here. It's so pretty. Things escalate here a bit with some double and triple hypers. But still, nothing too insane. Even the sliders definitely have intuitive movement.
Yeah.
Moving
really
into the one you could define intense part, but the movement is still very intuitive.
The thing is, even though it is intuitive, it looks a little snappy as well, because a lot of them are inverted.
Yeah. Just like that, the song fades out. Gonna be eager to see how all of the higher end players handle 9.2. Now gonna be moving into our mechanical pick, Nowhere Time Traveler. Song's fairly popular. Gonna be our mechanical pick. Gonna see a lot of back-to-back hyper sliders, as well as the infamous turnarounds that I like to mention so much.
You got some turnarounds already happening in this. I believe these are 1-4 hyper dashes as well. It's kind of like a mix of last week's DT3 with a little bit of the DT2 vibe is what I'm kind of getting from this so far.
That's a good vibe to have. Gonna have a bit of a wide section here. I know this song from Aspire. I'm sure many of you do as well.
I didn't. Now I do.
Now you know.
Yeah, these parts really dense. Some players probably gonna have a bit of a hard time reading it just because of how dense it is, even at 8 or 8.5.
This one will definitely be more rewarding to practice because of some of the wider stream sections. there you go. 213. Pretty bit on the shorter side, but still packs a lot of intensity with all it provides. Hey, it's that guy that you said retired. He's here.
I thought he was retired. Hold up.
Hey, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he made a map. DT3. Gonna be AR Forest, the last page. This is going to be our speed and high density pick of the round. Definitely a type of map that does favor the experienced DT player. Gonna be a lot of more comfy streams paired with the density.
You know, I'm sitting here looking at a VC that has the Creeper and Ascendance in it right now, and I just know that they're talking to each other about this map, and I can just only imagine what's being said between those two. And also, I see this background. This is like the most Ascendance pilled background I've ever seen, by the way. Just putting that out there.
That's something I didn't even notice, but now I can't unsee it.
You can't unsee it. It's like if there was some background post quiz kind of game, not just music, just backgrounds, you would just guess Ascendance for this one, 100%.
True. Alright, gonna be our wider, more consistent stream section here. Goes on for the longest part.
Yeah, these streams also pretty nice, I think, to have in a DT map like this. The AR is also very good for this. I think it's just straight 9.0.
Yeah.
So very readable, very hard map in terms of just your movements. Should be very good for this run. Also breaking 8 stars as well, by the way.
PP.
True.
Alright, gonna be DT4, Brave New World by Mr. Binking Thanks for Carry. Gonna be our control pick with a lot of the more wide-based wiggles with double time applied. Definitely going to be a little wide. Going to require that precision with DT applied.
6 note wiggles as well. Not just like 4, but they're actually like 6 notes. Which means some people might get a bit stamina speed gapped on them. Oh, and they're also shifting spacings too. That's just evil.
DT4 moment.
Can we just rename the DT4 to DT Evil?
Absolutely not.
Just like Nomad 3?
Maybe next year.
Alright, I'll have to propose that in the tournament feedback channel.
Map is consistent with its ideas and patterning.
Yeah.
So definitely one to practice a bit. Learning even the first half of the map will teach you essentially the entirety of the map. The mix-ups are very minimal.
Definitely a lot more consistent than the previous, DT4 that we had last week, which had pretty much snaps all over the place. This one seems very, very consistent in the snaps it utilizes where everything is.
You have a nice rap solo though. A bit more of a speed check, you could define it as. 6-note wiggle isn't the most common pattern. Alright, the Mix Mod 1 by Bunray. Haragiri Poppy Fox with zeros. Gonna be our hybrid pick that goes all the way up to 228 BPM. The song is also an original from TWC. You kind of see it similar to No Mod 1 with a lot more stops, meant to perform well in the mix mod slot. Gonna have a breakdown section here.
It doesn't seem too punishing, really, so this one, honestly, good for all mods is what I would assume at first glance on this. It shouldn't get too messed up with Hard Rock. I might be proven wrong on that. But, honestly, it seems like a good re-mod kind of map where you just put your best player in each mod, and it should be relatively normal consistency, you know, spread out between your players, how hard it is, I think.
Yeah, testing that most common skill set as mentioned. Hidden being most played on the higher AR maps as well. Definitely can be seen as more conventional. Definitely a bit of a spike in the double section, but not really that big, but still noticeable. Gonna have a lot of chains here as well. And then another breakdown part, as requested in the original song.
Katagiri breakdowns just are something else, honestly. I know Bunway probably had a great time mapping this too.
Alright, moving into Mixmod 2, gonna be a classic of the genre, gonna be Ken. Mapping Kate Sith. Gonna be our anti-mod Ken style. You guys are familiar with this style if you played CWC last year.
Pretty much like past 3 or 4 years at this point, I think, for Ken. And whenever you see a Ken map in the Mixmod pool, you know it's gonna be a slapper. Speaking of which, one of them from last year is actually going up for love to this round, so make sure you go give that one a look.
Yeah, this one's definitely going to be one of Ken's harder additions, with it being CS 4.8, 6.24 with a hard rock applied.
Any hyper dashes?
What do you think?
Well, last time we had one hyper dash, so... Oh, okay, there are. Okay. There's a few. See, if you asked me what I think, I would have said there's none, but then there was just like 3 of them, so... You're trying to trap me with that one, weren't you?
I was. You saw right through me.
This map also kind of reminds me a bit of an easier version of last year's Grand Finals Hidden 2. Just slightly easier. Actually, no, it's a lot easier. What am I saying? But it definitely has that same kind of vibe. This time in the mix.
Yeah.
Which I think is much more fitting, because usually if you're trying to find 3 players who can play hidden on this, you're not going to find 3. Even on the best teams.
It'll always be the one. Section also becomes super swing here. The song's also adorable. I like this song a lot. Then a slowdown jump section before one more rendition. Alright, and that's going to be our Mix Mod 2. And don't worry, for all of the doubters in the chat, we do have an Osu original this round. Let's move right into Mix Mod 3. Alright, hope we caught some of the doubters out by having an original this round. Gonna be Aui's Never Last, mapped by Gemzu. Huge shout out to Zeth for doing the graphic design, and just look at that background. I was shocked when I first saw this background. I think it looks absolutely amazing. Once again, gotta thank Sakura for coordinating this, and also need to thank two individuals who I haven't thanked enough yet this tournament, Mango Miser and Azer, for handling all of our original work. Getting all of these originals would have been impossible without the help of those two. Definitely deserve a lot of applause, and apologies for not crediting them more earlier in the tournament. They definitely deserve it. Alright, with all of that being said, we can move into our tiebreaker for the round. Going to be Sound Architect, going to be a collab between Gigas and Gemzu. You can only imagine how technical it's about to be. AR 9.9, CS 4.3. You can picture the density just by all the words I just said out loud.
You know, how crazy is it, by the way, that in the chat, literally 30 seconds before we went on this map, I saw somebody type Gigas Jamesu collab where...
Really? Wow.
I swear to God, you can look in the chat right now. Dark Big Bug 56. I see that.
Somebody find that guy. Give him a medal. He earned that one. That's incredible. Gonna be a song that picks up quite a bit. I already notice it getting faster.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing is the max combo on this map. I already know we're gonna be seeing a lot of big density. There's gonna be a stack section somewhere in this, surely. A 4.4k max combo.
I have no idea what you're talking about. This is perfectly normal. I love those wiggles a lot. I like them so much that I made sure they happen twice.
You made sure of that?
Yep.
Wow, look at you go, enforcing your role as a lead map ruler.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I don't deserve any credit for that. But I like the pattern nonetheless.
Yeah, you can take credit for putting these two on the slot. That's what you can take credit for.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys. Hope you like the map. All me. Gonna be another rendition of the stream section from earlier. But not for long. Gonna be our breakdown part here.
Yeah, and this is the kind of style that you kind of get used to with Gigas as well, is a lot of these flowy, really hyperdash heavy sections, but they're also pretty snappy in terms of the flow. It's not always just going to be rain off flow. No, you actually have to be pretty snappy on some of them.
Yeah, definitely a mapper synonymous with this style. Definitely one that you can learn to play, but also just requires that little bit of reading.
Oh, there's some stacks.
Don't worry, that was the
200 combo.
That was the only stack section in the map. Don't worry.
No way.
Yeah, maybe I'm lying.
Oh yeah, especially going into a lower density 1/3 section, I believe this is. Oh, there. Okay, okay. There they are. There's the combo.
I couldn't fool you as much as I tried.
Yeah, no, you can't convince me that there would be a Gigas and Jamesu map that isn't loaded with those. Also, those are 1/8, by the way.
Things pick up a little bit here. Alright, one more build-up part before the drop that we've all been waiting for. Still have over 1k combo to go. Approaching only 1/4 of the map.
Definitely picks up in intensity with just the amount of turnarounds overall used.
That's really good terminology, by the way.
I know it is. Pick it up from the best.
Appreciated. The section definitely stays its welcome. The intensity not dropping throughout the last final quarter here.
There's some notes after the spinner.
No, there's not.
No, there is. I'm looking at that score.
No, there's not.
I'm looking at the combo on the left, man.
Why are you
You can't
looking
prove me
there?
wrong.
There's no notes after.
This is a big spinner, though.
Oh, wait, there is? Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea. That's crazy.
Yeah, no idea. Okay, just one big slider.
Did I fool anyone in chat? Be honest. I'm sure I got a few of you.
I don't think you did. Sorry, buddy.
That's okay.
You tried your best.
Yeah. But that does it for our Finals Mappool Showcase. Definitely a lot of practice maps this round. Moving into the essential final stage of the tournament. It's been a crazy ride, and I'm starting to get sentimental about all the hard work that's been put into this. From the originals to the mappers. It's an amazing experience for sure, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. Thank you so much for tuning in, and next week will be my last week of Mappool Showcase for the year, and you better tune in for that.
Yep. See you guys next weekend.
See you next time.